So the boys have been super busy in the shop. We have had a lot going on. The toy drive was successful. We just got back from PRI and we are now diving into all of these big ticket off-season projects. Of course, the first one being our Nismo Off-Road Race Frontier. This thing is way torn down than I expected it to be this off-season, but you know, we got some time, and so we want to find all these little things that have been kind of not really plaguing us, but I feel like they might in the future. Most of it's you know, in the wiring. We have a couple add-on setups. We have, like, you know, a couple things being powered by relays. We got most of our lights powered by a Switch Pros unit, and then we just recently added a Motec PDM to have better control of these accessories. And so now we are basically taking those 3 different systems and whittling it down to probably just 2, moving things that had just independent relays that we did previously before the PDM, moving all that to the Motec PDM, and then leaving some of these like lights and accessories on the Switch Pro, which is not as important. Yes, lights are important, and we do want to make sure that we do have lights, but what we will probably do is our front big 6 light bar, which was actually being, it was overpowering the Switch Pro, which is why we were running 4 out of the 6 lights the past couple races. It was tripping the circuit. So we will be relocating the power source for that, maybe through the PDM, maybe through just the relay system and a busman. But yeah, so that's one of the systems that we'll be cleaning up. Some of the other power pickups for the modifications we've done to the 4-wheel drive system and the additional components that we have in the back here. We got our brushless fans, we have our external water pump, and so all these pieces, you know, need that extra power. So whether it's being controlled automatically via ignition or temperature, or if it's a manual switch, either way we need to make sure everything is tidied up and buttoned up. And then also just kind of going through and finding that wiring that got damaged 2 years ago, well, year and 2 months ago, I should say, 2 NORA races ago, that had us limping back to the Nissan dealership down in Ensenada. And then we were able to discover via the console that we weren't getting power to our TCM, and the boys were able to find that break in the chain. We put a jump harness into it, got the power back on, went out, finished the race. Just little things like that. It was the first time we ever had the engine out of the truck. It is back in right now, but we have those clips that you guys can see inserted here of when the engine was out. We actually had way more visibility of everything. You know, since everything is chopped out, they put the engine back in, put the cooling system back up front, the trans cooler, the AC condenser, and the power steering cooler. So all of that's back in the front. We got the headlights and the carbon fenders back on, so we can get some good visual on where we need to build some extra support here to hold this front end up. But yeah, the factory core support is still in place. That's all still working good. So that gives us the location for all of this before we go in and build the extra support that we need to hold all of this for when we're bouncing up and down off-road. Another cool addition we have is the Alaria Tech Dual Master brake system. It replaces the factory booster, it replaces the factory master. It gives us 2 different masters, so we can adjust the proportion from front to rear. We can also change the different master cylinder sizes. This will give us a much more direct feel. We get rid of the ABS motor, we get rid of all those extra lines. It just cleans up this entire corner so that we can come in with our tube structure and tie this back into the cage, which is something that we've always wanted to do, especially since we have done this new front end upgrade, having so much more travel in the front. However, now we have these shock towers that are very much raised off of the frame rail, if you will. So it used to tie in just back and forth and then to this outer structure, but now we're gonna actually come out and go in and tie into the cage, which is the way you really need to do it. That's the appropriate way to do it. Not that, you know, this was done incorrectly before, but we're working around what we had, and now that we just bit the bullet, tore the front end off, cut all this metal out, giving us more room, because now the rules allow us to run 37s, which is the other really cool bit about 2026, is that we'll be on 37-inch X-Comp XT Gladiator tires, so that we will have even more clearance, even more ride height, which will prevent us from doing what we did last race, as well as this extra support that we have now. So the rules do allow you to reinforce the factory suspension mounts. You know, you're allowed to change the upper mounts. The lower ones need to stay in the factory position, but you can reinforce them. And this is what we damaged in that last race. when we had that contact with the rock, and it pushed back on the control arm and it tore up on these mounts. So we're starting to go through. This is an additional plate. This is an additional plate. This sleeve through here. It's not fully done. We're gonna tie this off, and triangulate everything in so that we have much more support in that front end. And also with the added ground clearance, with the added larger tire size, there's a lot of great things that are happening to make this truck even more reliable. And there's even less stuff in here than ever. So we have the entire inside taken out so that, see how the roll cage just stops right here. So we're gonna be punching through the firewall and connecting into this cage so that we have all that extra support we're looking through, or all that extra support we're looking for in the front end. So right there you can see through the firewall where that down vertical tube is. So we're gonna be coming out from there, tying around and picking up these mounts. So we just have everything keyed in, everything tied together. It's gonna be better than ever. We have the entire back end taken out. We have the rear axle going back to Currie Enterprises. They're gonna give it a little fresh inspection for us after its inaugural race. First time we use that axle, so we wanna make sure everything is kind of clearancing itself appropriately and we don't have any issues. We have it over here on the pallet getting ready to go over to Currie so that they can make sure that all the measurements and all the things that they machined up for us with those CJD billet outer hubs is working appropriately. We, as you can see, cut the whole bed off. So one, we need some extra clearance here to fit our 37-inch spare tire, because you can see now it is like right up against where this guy is. So the 37 is going to be right up on this tire. This tire is going to be a little bit taller, so we might have to cut this guy off and make it a little smaller, because this gap is going to be consumed by 2 inches this way and 2 inches this way. So it's all going to be really tight, but it's going to be really good in the long run. All of this is kind of in place. Like I said, we're going to also, when we remount our save-on rear quarter panels, we're going to move them out maybe about 1 inch or so, just to give us that little bit more clearance, because when we made the axle, we made it a little wider than the old setup so that we would clearance our bump stops, and we had better clearance for our shocks, which sit out on the outside of the frame rail. So everything is like really tight with that big Bilstein bypass to sit here. And so to clear the shock, we added about 1 inch of width on the axle. We didn't want to go too far with it, just enough to keep the track width around the same as the front, and with having the clearance of the inside of the tire against our Bilstein shock. And so the tire sits a little bit past the fender on the backside, but now that we are not mounted to a physical bed and we can move that out, we're gonna have that extra clearance that we're looking for, which is really good. New rear spring packs built out by Deaver Spring. So we're going with a little more ride height, a little more spring rate, now that this truck is starting to carry some good pace. And also those spring packs have about 1,000 miles on them. And from what we understand, they are starting to show their age, and I think that's why the truck was also sitting a little low, as we were running them a little longer than we should. But otherwise, truck is looking sick. In one way, it's looking pretty tore up, but no, it's all progress in the right direction. So we're really pumped with how it's coming together. And like we said, just a bunch of little additions to it, nothing too crazy, just cleaning up what we already have, simplifying the truck even further, and making it so that it is even more reliable as we continue to race this truck in more races, longer races. We're going to be doing 4 off-road races this year. This year we did 2, and the years before that we did 1. So it's definitely, you know, we're ramping up the track time, if you will. So we got to make sure this thing is reliable, and we're doing just that.